That's the story of Rohan, a man who learned the hardest way that obsession with one wrong decision can make. You lose everything you love. Rohan was a dreamer, passionate, hard-working, and determined to create something of his own. He ran a small printing business in his city, and though it wasn't huge, it was honest work. Customers trusted him. His employees admired his leadership. His family was proud of how far he had come. Every morning he'd wake up before sunrise, open the shutters of his workshop, and feel grateful for the life he had built with his own hands. But one decision changed everything. One day, Rohan received a massive printing order from a brand new client. It was the biggest deal of his career, one that could double his profits overnight. But there was a catch. To meet the tight deadline, he had to use a cheaper ink supplier who promised faster delivery. Against his better judgment, Rohan agreed. When the order was finally printed and shipped, disaster struck. The ink started smudging on every page. Colors faded, pages stuck together, and the client's entire batch was useless. Furious, the client demanded a full refund and threatened to ruin Rohan's reputation. Rohan felt crushed. His confidence shattered overnight. That one mistake cost him months of income and the trust he had built over years. But what truly broke him was not the loss. It was his obsession with fixing it. He couldn't let it go. He replayed every moment in his head, the supplier call, the shipment, the delivery. He told himself, I'll fix this, no matter what. But in trying to fix that one mistake, he stopped focusing on everything else that mattered. He stopped taking new clients. He ignored his loyal customers. He stayed up all night, pouring his remaining savings into redoing that one failed order. His stress grew, his health declined, and his relationships began to fall apart. And soon, Rohan's biggest mistake wasn't the bad ink. It was not knowing when to let go. Rohan sat on a park bench one quiet afternoon, staring at the ground as dry leaves danced around his feet. His once busy hands were now empty, and the only sound left in his life was the echo of regret. He had lost his business, his team, and even the warmth of his home. Everything he had built was gone, not because of one mistake, but because he couldn't stop chasing it. An old man sitting nearby noticed the sadness written on Rohan's face. With a gentle smile, he asked, You look like a man carrying the weight of the world. What happened, son? Rohan sighed and told him everything. The failed deal, the sleepless nights, the endless attempts to fix what was already broken. The old man listened patiently, and then said something that pierced through Rohan's heart. My boy, he said softly, if a mirror breaks, would you cut yourself trying to join the pieces? You can't fix the reflection by bleeding on the glass. Those simple words hit Rohan like lightning. He realized that all this time, he had been punishing himself, not for the mistake, but for not being perfect. He had been so desperate to erase the past that he forgot the future was still waiting for him. That evening, for the first time in months, Rohan went home early. He found his wife sitting alone at the dining table. With tears in his eyes, he said, I'm sorry. I lost myself trying to fix something that couldn't be fixed. She held his hand and whispered, You didn't lose yourself. Rohan, you just forgot who you were. Those words gave him strength. The next morning, he decided to start over, not by rebuilding the same business, but by rebuilding himself. He began teaching young entrepreneurs about the mistakes he had made, guiding them to avoid the same traps. His honesty, once hidden behind shame, became his greatest strength. Within a year, Rohan's new venture grew stronger than ever. People admired him not for being flawless, but for being real. One day, he shared his story online and said, Don't lose everything trying to fix one mistake. Sometimes moving on is the only way to win. And that became his greatest life lesson. That letting go is not failure. It's freedom.